Hello beautiful souls and welcome back to my channel Soul Journey. My name is Beck, or Anu Ani, the expansion doula. And today we're going to be talking about what has helped me along my journey when it comes to centering. I'm doing this video for a couple different reasons. One, I'm having a really hard time recently getting grounded and centered because of all of the planetary stuff going on. I don't know if you guys are feeling it, but with the spring equinox that just happened, the full moon, Mercury retrograde, everything is just getting tossed all over the place. And so for me, I am just feeling all over the place. Now, as you know, if you've been subscribed to my channel for the last few weeks, I was supposed to post a video about making crystal grids. Now, that video has been filmed, and I'm working on editing it, and because of Mercury retrograde and a couple other things, it has been delayed. Last week, I'd had it almost completely edited, and then my program was just like, nope, we don't recognize any of these files, so I'm going to have to re-edit it. And after all the work I put into it, I'm like, I'm going to give myself a few weeks to just like get back into wanting to do that, because it was a lot of work and now I'm going to have to do it all over again. Yeah. Last week I just did a quick video saying like, hey, sorry, because like it was literally a few hours before I was supposed to post it. I was like really bummed. And then this week, I don't know, like because I've just been feeling so uncentered and so ungrounded, I just haven't had the draw to like actually do it. When I make a video, I'm really excited. I want to edit it, get it out there. And then if I like don't run on that like forward motion, I tend to be less interested in doing it. But I really want to put it out. I've actually had a couple people request it, and so I really do want to put it out. So it is coming hopefully next week, but I decided to do today's video because I wanted to do something a little more relaxed, but something that I would find helpful in this energy. So yeah, let's get into it.
The codes of light you carry inside anchor a new way of life. Heart-centered being, awareness and seeing. You are out on the leading.
Are you guys seeing my hair? Like, look how long it's getting. This is just like crazy spring hair. I'm loving the curls. If you guys want to know what my natural hair looks like, this is it. All right, you guys, so let's get into my list. And I have figured out 13 things. I kind of was like just going inward and it's like, what helps me center? What have I been enjoying? John Michael said to me when I was like, I don't know what video to post. He was like, well, what have you been thinking about? What has been helping you recently? And I was like, well, I can share with all of my followers what has been helping me to center. What is helping me getting more in tune with my soul path. So that is what I have for you today. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, so I have kind of compiled a list of 13 beautiful ways that I have found along my journey to help me center. Now, some of these may help you, some of them may not, but these are just some ideas if you are having a hard time centering. Some of these are very, very grounding. And yeah, I feel like I'm like, what's the word I'm looking for? Rambling. I'm rambling. Let's go on to it. All right, so number one, and I have mentioned this a few times on my other platforms, that I have been super, super enjoying having a daily planner. Now, I've actually turned having a daily planner into a literal daily practice. It's probably one of my only few full-on daily practices, but what's cool is with the help of my daily planner, I can do my other daily practices, which is very, very helpful. So at the end of each day, I absolutely, even if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I write down in my planner these 4 different things. So the first thing is I check off the things I did for the day on my normal calendar, and then on the next page for that month it has my goals. And so I mark in all the things that I did during the day, and I sometimes do that during the day as well as I do them. If I have anything, there's a little space for gratitude, a little space for, something, if something really good happened that month, whatever. So I'll fill those in so that I actually have a little spreadsheet essentially of all the goals I've gotten done daily. So I have 12 or 13 different things that I'm trying to do each day. And so I can kind of keep track of which ones I did. So I do that. And then there is kind of like the next section where each day kind of has like a little journal section. And I write down just totally basics of like what I did. It can be as simple as being like, oh, I made a really good dinner I liked, or, you know, John Michael and I had like, you know, maybe an argument, or, you know, maybe we got something interesting that day, or even just how I felt about something. Maybe I connected to spirit and it kind of like, you know, hit me a certain way, or maybe I was kind of feeling off. Whatever it is, I just kind of journal very basically what the day held. If I want to go deeper into journaling, I have a journal, and a lot of times I will then, once going from the day, go into journaling. But I do at least do that small thing so I can look back and just see every day what happened. You know, if we got corals, or, you know, if I connected with one of my friends, you know, so I can literally go back and go, oh yeah, that's when that happened. And that's been really a good way to decompress at the end of the day. So that's been really cool. And then the last part is there's like a mood chart. So I will kind of like sum up, you know, I get centered, I sum up my day and how I felt about it. So that has been really, really helpful for centering into my focused creation, for one, but two, it has just been super helpful for like centering at the end of the day and really getting focused on what I want. So the next thing that I have been doing a whole lot of has been working out and yoga. Now, what's been really amazing is yoga, I'm finding, is really centering. It really gets me in my body, and also I've been really enjoying working out. It's been absolutely amazing. And today I kind of did a little bit of like the Wim Hof method. I want to do more research on it, but basically they like work out or get themselves going, and then they do like really deep breathing. There is a specific method. I did it very casually today, and then they either jump in a cold lake or they jump in a cold shower. I got in a cold shower, and it was so good. It was so invigorating. It really like brought me to center. It really got me like energized, and I felt really warm. And the same thing with yoga, and I've been doing that every single day, and I find it so meditative. I actually find that meditating when doing something physical is much better for me personally. So many people have a hard time, you know, being like, oh, I'm just gonna clear my mind, you know, like, oh, and it's so difficult. But I find when I'm using my body, I can clear my mind so much easier, and I can focus. And so that's been really, really helpful. The next thing is pulling cards. So for me, I am a tarot reader and I'm an oracle reader, and I do that professionally, but anyone can have an oracle deck. Anybody can have a tarot deck and learn the system. But you know, if you've never done cards, I definitely suggest an oracle deck, because those are much easier to get started with. You don't have to know a whole system. And just sitting down and pulling a few cards, reading what they mean, that is really a great way to center. You're not only centering into your own personal energy and your own like mind space, but you can tap into your intuition. You can get quiet, and that can be really, really helpful during a stressful day. Even in the morning, you know, just pull a card, get centered. That is really, really helpful. Pulling cards is like magic. The next thing I find that is extremely centering and also grounding is drumming. So we have, over the thousands of years, evolved with drumming. It's extremely earthing. It gets us really into that primal root chakra tone, and it can be really, really focused. Now, what's great about this, just like, you know, dance or yoga or anything like that, is that it focuses you in it. And sometimes even like collectively, if you're in a group, it really helps center that energy. But really just getting into that like rhythmic pattern can really get your entire mind and body just in alignment. And that can be super, super powerful. Even if you're doing it on your own, like just getting into that drumming, it's like magic. And I highly recommend it if you never have, to try it out. And there's different types of drumming. You can have, you know, the ones you hold and stuff, but I think my absolute favorite is the kind of that, the one you kind of put between your legs and you just like get into it. It's magic. Fun fact, I always put my camera on my drum, so drum, drum, drum. Okay. Number 5 is altar setup or crystal grid creation. Like I said, I will have a crystal grid coming out. Crystal grid vid coming out in the future, the near future. But something that I find extremely centering is creating a new altar or a new crystal grid. And that's because it's very focused and it's very tactile. So you get in touch with the crystals or your sacred tools, cleanse the area, you know, really set it up. It's very, very focused. It's very, Yeah, centering. I'm probably going to say centering and focus a lot in this video. But I find it extremely grounding and, but also connected to spirit, which again is perfect for that centering space. And it really gets you in tune with your path and what feels good to you in the moment. And it really also connects you into your current state, very in the moment. I find when it comes to centering, being in the body and then being in the moment are your key, like, goals for centering. So whatever kind of gets you into that. Some people that might be sports, some people that might be hiking, whatever that is, it's going to be perfect for you. But these are kind of like my tools, and then you can kind of take them and form them into your own personal thing. Is anyone else feeling ungrounded this last week? Damn. Okay. Number 6 is cooking. Now for me, I freaking love cooking, and I didn't realize this until I became a vegan. And when I became vegan, I had to do so much more cooking for myself, and I had to create new versions of old recipes. And so I got really into the creative process of cooking, and I can be in any kind of foul mood and I just like pull out all the, the veggies and start, chopping and seasoning, and it's a meditative practice for me at this point. I love food. I'm a Taurus. I like creating food for other people, and I love the color of creating food. I love the smell. Like, it's very, again, tactile. It's very in the moment. So I find cooking is an extremely centering practice. And honestly, when you learn to cook, it really connects you into your body and what you want to be putting in your body. And you just get much more mindful and connect that mind, body, spirit, emotional space. And so cooking can be a really great way of doing that. The next thing is cleaning or working with my hands. So I find that the action of cleaning not only centers my energy, just because when things are more clean, it feels better and more aligned, but it's kind of a monotonous, like, again, being in that body flow, and you can kind of get into this like almost rhythmic aspect. I find doing dishes or vacuuming or even just like scrubbing things down, I find it's very, very calming. Now, I know a lot of people, when it comes to cleaning, it's really that push into getting into the cleaning. I find most of my friends that once they start cleaning, or I'm the same way, then they get on a roll and they're like, oh, I was planning on cleaning for 5 minutes. I cleaned for 3 hours. And that's because I find it's like, again, very much in that moment. It's very much, like working with your hands. It's physical. Because oftentimes when we're ungrounded or uncentered, it's because we're all up here in our head. If we can bring our focus and energy back into our body, it can be really, really helpful. So cleaning is a really great way. And then look at that. At the end of it, you get to enjoy your clean house. What a cool concept. And if you're young and you're living with your parents, they will love you for it. So, I mean, they'll love you anyway, but they will extra love you. The next one that I really enjoy is painting or drawing. Again, it's about the focus, but it's also about the creativity. It really helps me get out of my mind space and really get into being more in flow or creative. I love the colors. I love the feeling, especially of paint, of like the feeling of the paint under the paintbrush. That's like, I don't know, it's really grounding for me. I love the color. And it's really good because also if you have like one of those coloring books or whatever, it kind of gets into that meditative state again. So painting and drawing I find is really, really awesome. 9 is going for a walk. So of course, as we know, grounding into nature is really, really important, but I find literally the movement of walking and the breathing gets you, again, centered into your body. Also, that fresh air can clear your mind. It can really help you kind of get into a much more peaceful state. More oxygen to the brain is always good. And then that grounding into nature. So that combination can be really, really helpful. Obviously, if you're in a city, that might not be as like nature filled. So maybe try going to a park and just going for a walk, or even just like running laps might be like a really good thing. But again, that like, I find that like monotonous kind of like repetitive movement can be really, really helpful when it comes to clearing your mind and getting centered. So number 10 is kind of a combination of like the pulling cards and the altar setup, and that's connecting into spirit. I find if I light some incense, I light some candles with intention, I get in front of my altar, I do some breathing, I connect with my crystals, maybe pull some cards, and just connect into spirit. Some of you may or may not feel like you're at that point yet where you can like consciously connect into spirit very, instantly. But I do find that getting into that mode is extremely centering. It really kind of clears out a lot of tension, especially when you connect to spirit, because they're guiding you from a higher perspective. It lets you clear out all the things that are kind of like bothering you. They almost help get you centered. And then again, just kind of that tactile of pulling the cards or connecting you with the crystals or lighting the candles, it really just brings a sacred space. And when you're in sacred space and you really connect into it, it will center you, because you're getting into a much more pure, aligned frequency with your personal path. And of course, being centered is essentially being more focused and more aligned with your own personal energy and kind of getting out of your head and your ego. So obviously connecting into your sacred space will be really great for centering. Number 11 is focused manifesting. So kind of like the last one, this is about, really getting clear and visualizing. So I find that focused manifesting some of these tools can actually be used also for focused manifesting. But when I say focused manifesting, I mean mostly like visualization. So getting clear on what you want and then sitting back, or laying down, whatever, and visualizing and then feeling within your body the things that you want to create. Because obviously our reality is a reflection of what we're holding. And so if we're always like, it's in the future, it's never going to fully come to us. So focused manifesting is really about holding the frequency of like the now in your body. So say you want to go on a vacation. So imagine what it feels like to be on that beach. Feel the wind on your face. Feel it, in your body. What would it make you feel? And really hold that space. And that can be super grounding and also super centering, because you're getting in tune with your desires and what feels good to you. And that not only will raise your frequency, but it'll get you centered towards the path you want to be on. And it's really going to alleviate a lot of that other stress, because you are focusing on what gives you the most passion and excitement. And that can be very, very centering when it comes to moving forward towards your goals. Now, a thing I did mention before with my planner is journaling. So I find journaling extremely centering, because it really helps you get your thoughts out on the page. You don't have to have them all stored up here. It really gets them, like, again, focused. And it really helps to alleviate a lot of the things that kind of throw us off center. Because, so much is going on in our minds and we're all over the place. If we can like journal it out and see it on paper, it really helps us to relieve that pressure and really gets us aligned. I feel like I'm repeating myself. All of these things get you aligned and centered and grounded, obviously. But it helps to alleviate the things that clutter your brain. And so once you've alleviated those things, you are naturally more centered. So I find journaling, getting it out, being honest with myself, so many of the things that will keep you off center is by not being honest with yourself, about not being fully aware of all the different parts of you. And so as you journal, things that you didn't even realize necessarily you were feeling often come out, because you're kind of in a train of thought, and then you can look back and go, oh wow. And it can also not only center you in the moment, but sometimes you'll realize you have these underlying beliefs that aren't really helpful, and by knowing those, you can get yourself back on center. Number 13 is connecting with plants. So this is really, really specifically with plants, not just being outside. So this could be indoors, especially if you live in a town or a city where you can't get in touch with nature. This is a really great way. But connecting into plant consciousness energy, maybe filling your house with plants, going to a greenhouse. I find it's just really, really soothing, and it can really just ground me right in. I like, or even going up to a tree and classic tree hugger, literally. I do like to ask the tree before I do this. I'll say, I'd like to share energy with you. Can I ground with you? And I just honor the tree for a minute. And then even just putting my hand on the tree and just like grounding into the roots, or even just giving that tree a nice hug and just like getting yourself super grounded. If you haven't done it, you really probably are like, that's kind of crazy, but once you've done it, it's magic. So I highly recommend go hug a tree, or even just like do some planting or get in the garden. Plant energy is super calm. It's very centered. It's very grounded. And when you are working with that energy, it will also ground and center you. And so I did end up adding a 14th thing. I thought I'd had it on my list, but I guess not. And it kind of goes back into the working out or yoga. But this, as for me personally, I was born a dancer. It's kind of like my natural state. And so for me, one of the things that gets me the most centered is dancing. Fast dancing, slow dancing, the music is super grounding, and again, it gets you out of your head. It gets you moving. Now, some people are uncomfortable with dancing. You don't have to dance in front of anyone. You can just turn on some music, even just like kind of moving your body. I find the more free flow it is, the better it works. And just get into your body and feel feel your fingers, feel your toes, feel the ground under your feet. Move with that music, just like drumming or working out. Our cultures have been evolved around movement and dance and celebration. And so these are getting back into our roots and back into that centered space, because as human beings, yes, we're spirit beings, but the thing that's going to keep us centered and grounded is understanding that our human bodies are what is holding us here. It is what is how we're having our experience. And if we're not honoring and stepping into our bodies, we're not going to feel grounded. We're not going to feel like we're present in the moment. We're going to feel very off, because in this reality, being in your body is extremely, extremely important, because that's how you're experiencing your world. And if you're denying that aspect of yourself, you're just not going to have as full or rich or, centered experience. So all of these things are kind of getting into your body. They're getting you into the physical world, and that is okay. I know a lot of us have resistance to being here, but we chose to be here. We chose to have this experience. We chose to have our soul expansion through this human experience. It's a beautiful, opportunity. It's a beautiful time to be alive. It's a beautiful time to connect to others and to connect to yourself. So honor your body, honor what feels good to it. And like I said, these are just things that have helped me. You can do some of these, or you can take them and, apply them to the things you enjoy. But get into your body, clear your mind, and have a little dance party with yourself or others. With others, it's also beautiful as well. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful for you. Please comment down below if you've tried any of these, or if you'd like to try some of these, or if you have different centering or grounding practices. I'd love to hear. If you want to see more videos from me, hit that subscribe button and hit like if you enjoyed it, because that's also really helpful. But yeah, hit subscribe. I do videos every Monday and Friday. Friday I do energy readings for the collective, and then Monday I do more like spirit related videos, sustainable living, self-love, spiritual growth, spiritual soul expansion videos. So definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell, because sometimes the algorithm doesn't, show things on your main page. So definitely hit that notification bell if you'd like to see more videos from me in the future. Man, guys, I need to get some grounded vegetables in me. Damn. Okay, is anyone else feeling this? Please comment down below. Are you guys feeling super ungrounded? I feel like I can't even focus. I feel like I'm high. I'm not, but I feel like I'm high. It's like crazy. Anyway, if you'd like to check out my other social medias, those are in the description down below, along with my Patreon if you'd like to support my channel, and my Etsy shop if you'd like a personal reading from me, or to check out any of the other cool little items I have in my shop. So definitely go check those out. Much love, you guys. Many blessings. Namaste. And don't forget, it's all about that soul journey.